welcome to the 22nd episode of the Fandom Flux podcast. As always, I'm your host, KCW, and with me this week we have... Who do we have? I've forgotten. Slicinus. We have Slicinus.
Hello.
We have Kenchi.
You listen to Kenchi 618, which is always hassle-free.
That was less arrogant than what you were going with before.
I was going to something infinitely more arrogant involving that, but I decided not to.
Okay, I'll take it.
Way longer, but Casey doesn't like that, so I kept it short.
Oh, great. Now I'm going to get hate for that. Wonderful. You always find a way, Ken, to make this bad for me somehow. Okay. And we have Zero.
The sweetest topping on the Fandom Flux pizza.
We're a pizza?
That just sounds dirty.
It kind of does, yeah.
Take it however you want it. Wink,
Okay.
wink, nudge, nudge.
That's not helping.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awkward pause. Okay, I get it.
What topping is that exactly?
I don't know. Pineapple?
Ugh.
Yeah, you.
Pineapple isn't really a hot topping.
I said sweetest.
Oh, you said sweetest, didn't you?
Yeah.
Pineapple's not really that either.
Pineapple's gross.
Pineapple's awesome. You guys don't know anything.
It's okay. I could take it or leave it.
I hate pineapple.
You guys are hurting my feelings.
It is the most weaponized fruit out of all the fruits that I know of, though.
Okay, guys, we're like
that.
2 minutes into this and we're already off on a tangent. What the hell happened?
Zero said something about being sweet, tasty pizza, and things kind of spiraled out of control from there. Okay, so what have we been doing for the past week? We will go with Slicer first, I think.
A lot of anime and Fallout 1. I've never really appreciated Fallout 2 more than I have when I was playing 1. It's the little things. It's like Borderlands 1 and 2. It's the same game, but it's better. So it's, I don't know, it's just little pieces you go back and you miss. Like being able to take all from a corpse. It takes forever to get all the items. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
you've been going backwards through that series. I can't imagine that's comfortable.
no, I've replayed. I'm replaying the first one. I did play it in order, the first two anyway.
Oh, okay.
I started with 3 in New Vegas, like most people did these days. What is it called? I'm gonna try and pronounce this, and I'm probably gonna butcher it. But I watched Sekai Seifuku Boryaku no Zvezda. I don't know what that. It's like World Conquering Ordered Zvezda. So yeah.
Okay.
I started watching it for the half-naked lollies, but I stayed because it's actually a pretty good show. It's humorous and it's just weird sometimes. They had an entire episode about getting rid of smoking. So, that's a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I used to read this manga a long time ago called Zedai Karen Children. I don't know if you guys know that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's this team of 3 little girls. They're like one of them can move things with her mind. I forget what that's called. One of them can read objects, like read minds, see intents on objects, stuff like that, and the other one's a teleporter. So they make this team, and it's kind of their adventures. Kind of a Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing for a while until I get serious. But yeah, I've just been getting. I read the manga on it, and now I'm just kind of watching the show, seeing how different it is. It's also really freaking dry in here. The weather has been not great. I actually got the truck stuck in our driveway. So, a 4-wheel drive truck, and I got it stuck.
In what?
Great.
Snow.
The snow. It's
Oh,
cold.
right. It's snowing and stuff.
Snow basically kicked the entire East Coast's ass in Midwest
It
this
did.
week.
West Coast, I've got rain.
Yeah, you fuckers don't get snow, so...
That's
don't
actually
enjoy
a downside. I like snow.
Well, I don't
I
like
would
it
have
this
preferred
week.
snow to the weather we got, which was rain and a lot of really, really strong winds. Going to the shop snapped my umbrella. I was not pleased.
Yeah, that's happened
There's
to
3
me.
feet of snow sitting in my backyard. So much so that I felt safe backflipping off of a 10-foot deck, landing face first in it without getting hurt, and I'm terrified of backflipping.
You felt
did you
safe
actually
as
do
in
that?
you did it? Or...
Yeah, As in, I decided to do it, and I'm terrified of backflipping in the first place, let alone off of a 10-foot platform and landing on my face. I did this in snow.
Yeah,
That's how much there
we
was.
had a day a
That's
few days ago where it was like 20 degrees, so we had a bunch of stuff melt, and then it froze overnight, so we have like a layer of ice over all the snow. And then there's more snow today. So it's like a death trap. It's not great.
So, snow's over for me, so
Just, I
still
think
gotta wait
that's
for the
it.
still gotta wait for the 2 feet of snow to thaw around my car so I can move it again. Because I'm not shoveling. Fuck that.
Just throw down some salt. Just layer everything.
So that was the weather segment of our podcast.
Yeah.
Anything else you've done this week, Slicer?
Uh, I, yeah, I think that's it. Just
Yeah.
some anime and Fallout.
Okay. Ken, you want to go next?
Okay, first of all, fuck all of you guys because after last week you made me watch all of the Yu Yu Hakusho episodes all over again.
yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a show.
It's great,
And
isn't it?
I'm almost at the end of like the Dark Tournament right now,
Right.
and I don't have time to watch any today. I'll probably do it the rest of tomorrow and Tuesday.
So good, isn't
But-
it?
It makes me feel like I'm 10 again or something.
Yeah.
It has that
Yeah, I know,
effect, yeah.
right?
Well, I wouldn't know about that because I didn't watch it until I was like 19. So, still, it's a good show.
Probably the right
Yeah,
age for it, but yeah, you don't have that nostalgia, I suppose.
Here it was on TV until like the arc after the Dark Tournament, and then it just went off of regular
Yeah,
TV
it
and
just
started coming on at
stopped.
like 5 in the morning or some shit. So I had to get up at 5 in the morning to watch it until it ended,
Mm-hmm.
which was weird.
I don't think we ever actually got the anime kid show thing in this country. Never really happened, at least until Pokemon. And
Yeah,
then,
because your country's intelligent and realized this shit isn't really for kids.
Not really.
ish. It depends on the anime, obviously, but
Okay,
some of them
here
kind
we
of
had Tenchi Muyo on TV at like fucking 4:30 in the afternoon.
that's the harem one, right?
Yeah.
The one where he actually marries everyone instead of just picking one and then everyone else gets heartbroken.
Yay,
Yeah,
look
that-
at me.
Is that the one that had like a bunch of different endings and one of them had like everyone getting murdered?
I don't remember that. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No. I'm pretty sure one of those harem series, I think it might have just been a manga or something, I don't know. But one
You
of them
thinking
had like
Nejima?
no, there was like 3 different endings or something. One of them he picked one of them, and one of them he picked all of them, and it ended really, really terribly. As in, jealousy and hurt feelings erupted into everyone getting killed.
School days?
I don't know.
That's what I was
honestly
thinking.
don't know what the title was.
Yeah, it's the one I think you're thinking about.
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to those series, so it's just something I read on TV Tropes once. Yeah, we never really got anything like that. I mean, you guys got Sailor Moon, and we never got that, I don't think.
Yeah, the show's great.
Yeah.
So people keep telling me. I don't buy it, to be honest
Oh
with
no,
you.
I would not go back and watch it. It would ruin it for me. It's probably terrible.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't go back and watch things like that.
Yu Yu Hakusho, though, you know, like some of the characters look like they're, you know, the animation style's a little bit, it reflects the time, but Yu Yu
Yeah.
Hakusho's still good. I
It's
mean,
probably also got
Yusuke's-
those filters on them if the film was aged or whatever.
Yeah, watching that show back made me download Cool Bar and Karama's theme songs.
Cool Bar's awesome when he's not being a failure.
Yeah, Cool Bar is fucking awesome.
Well, I think that was an early Chris Abbott role. He played,
Yeah.
what was his name?
Yeah.
Vegeta, I think.
Cool Bar does cool shit.
Yeah. He's like, he takes so much, like, crap, but he just goes out there and he's just like, I'll take all these hits for all my bros.
Yeah.
And then he
He's like
gets,
the truest
yeah.
bro ever.
he's the truest, and then he gets a sword which can cut through dimensions and basically everything. He just needs to hit you.
Until the
Cool
plot
Bar's-
says it can't.
Yeah, until the plot. But when he gets that sword, like when he first uses it against the guy starts dodging because it's like, you know, oh my goodness, you know, Destructo Disc style. Cuts through anything up to a certain extent.
Cool Bar's best moment is in the tournament when like half the team got like trapped behind this barrier and
Yeah,
stuff.
and he
And
goes
Yuki
up
got
there.
disqualified, and then he had to fight the last dude. He still got his ass kicked from the last round, so he's still hurt.
Yeah.
And then Yukina shows up in the crowd, and he suddenly, with the power of
Yeah.
love,
Yeah.
has the
Yeah.
power to kill the guy in one move.
Yeah.
Cool Bar.
Or when he
I
uses
love that
the spirit fly swatter on the Elder Taguro.
I haven't gotten to that episode yet. I
Oh.
remember it, but I want to see it again. But I have to be patient and watch them in order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah,
Tell
I
you what
don't have
anime
the
we did get,
self-control
though.
for that. I'd probably just skip straight to the Dark Tournament.
Tell you what anime we did get though. We got Dragon Ball Z. If
Well,
that
yeah.
assuages anyone's feelings or
Did
anything.
you get Dragon Ball GT too?
Probably. I imagine so. I didn't watch it, so
Good. Good.
Good.
I saw that show and was like, nope.
GT
It's-
does not exist.
It's like they tried to mix Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, like the silliness of Dragon Ball with the action of Dragon Ball Z, and then they failed.
Mm,
Yeah.
well. That's such a shame.
The
that
first
a Dragon
problem
Ball
was when they
property
made
didn't go
Goku a kid again.
Should have done Gohan. Would have been better.
Yeah, yeah. Gohan originally it was planned for Gohan to become the main character after the Cell Saga, but you know, screw it. Everybody wants Goku apparently.
well.
Now we're getting off onto a big tangent.
A little bit.
Whatever. I didn't really have anything else going on this week anyway,
Yeah.
other than working, and no one wants to hear about that shit.
Well, is it amusing or is it just like it was
It's
It's work.
It's work.
Yeah.
If something interesting happens, I'll talk about it. But until then, it's just a job at this point.
Okay. I can understand not really caring about Gohan. I don't care about Gohan.
You don't care about Dragon Ball Z at all.
I know, but that's... If on the absolute offside chance that I might, at some point, possibly kind of maybe watch Dragon Ball, I'd want to be watching the story of Goku, not the story of Gohan.
Just watch Abridged.
I heard that
Yeah.
if Akira Toriyama did make a new Dragon Ball Z movie, it would be Vegeta as the main character, which sounds really
Oh
interesting.
god.
Yes,
That'd be weird.
No.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be awesome because we never really get to see too much from his point of view.
I have to talk with Vegeta all the time, okay? Jordinio is basically Vegeta, and it sucks. Fuck that.
Okay. I can kind of see that. Strangely enough. Yeah.
Vegeta was a cool character in small doses. You don't want to see him all the time.
Okay, now you've lost me because I don't want to see Jordinio in small doses.
Mixing up people, but okay.
Yeah, well, you made the comparison, not me.
Fair enough.
So, is that everything, Kenchi?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, tell you what, I'll go next because I always go last, and I want to change it up a little bit, because why not? So I watched a couple of anime this week. Has anyone else actually watched Kill la Kill? I know Ethan did.
Yeah, I did.
Actually, yeah, I got caught up with
Keep
Log
forgetting
Horizon and
to.
Kill la Kill. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kill la
Holy
Kill, that's,
shit, that bath scene. Wow.
that's
was-
probably the best anime about clothes I will ever watch.
You mean there's more?
Probably. I imagine there has to be. I mean, the shoujo series that exist. There's got to be one of them about clothes, I imagine.
I need to catch up with Log Horizon. I fell behind.
It's a good show. I mean, it doesn't go downhill or uphill. It just remains awesome.
Which one, Kill la Kill or
Log Horizon. Kill la Kill is ramping up, but I think
Yeah.
it's going to hit a point at some point. I don't know. I don't see that happening though. Just
It's
intuition.
very, very close to the climax, I'm fairly certain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
At 18 episodes. It's only going to be like a 25 episode series.
were you as disappointed as I was when they first said recap episode, and then it all was done in
Yeah.
like 45 seconds?
That was great!
Oh man.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, this is something you've all been waiting for. It's the recap episode. Then he starts talking like really fast motor mouth style, doing the fucking Micro Machines voice. Just like, this happened, and this happened, this, and this, these people, and this, and then that's it. It's over. And then
I
you're
just
back to the
stopped
next
trying to
episode.
keep up. I can't read that fast.
It was good, yeah. So, I get the feeling that at some point the creator was really affronted by Reebok somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Mm.
Because there's an evil clothing company in the series called Revox, and
Yeah.
the Japanese pronunciation for that is Reeboks.
Yeah.
So, maybe suspicious a little bit.
Maybe it's anti-capitalist, just like the Lego Movie, which everybody's saying is anti-capitalist.
I don't even know
In
what that
America.
means.
They
It's
look at
anti-buying
yeah, business is
and
bad.
selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, evil corporations. It's not really that. It's more anti conformity, I guess, kind of. Or maybe anti-defining yourself by what you wear and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which is
Is the general
good.
message I'm getting from Kill la Kill.
Which is good.
It's basically Gurren Lagann. Just never be oppressed. Always strive for
Yeah.
freedom or something.
Yeah, that's the text. But there's the subtext of like defining yourself how you want to define yourself, and not by material things. Maybe.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I took away from it so far. Anyway, very close to ending, I imagine. The big final fight scene is going on. And I also watched an episode of Defrag.
And
What the fuck?
Yeah.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, wow.
Episode
That was-
3 is when it starts going up. That it starts getting better. I think episode 1 is okay, but episode 2 is better, and it gets better with every episode. But it's funny.
I don't think I have the right mindset for anime comedy. Like, just straight up comedy. It's maybe a little bit much for me.
Oh
in my
come
brain.
on, watch another episode. You know you'll like it.
I don't.
You
I
ever met
have-
the father and son character? It's
Okay.
it's great. Kenchi, do you remember? Did you see them, the father and son characters in Defrag? Remember them?
Yes, I have.
It says
Ones
these
supposed
are
to be
minor characters. They're walking in, and it's like, Dad, what is this chi? And then the father's like, my son, he understands what chi is. I am so proud. And it's just like the two, like, groups in front of each other. They're like school groups. And just like every moment with those two minor characters is great.
Okay. I have no idea how I feel about Defrag. And that's probably what's putting me off. I might maybe watch another episode, but I kind of doubt it. I don't think it's for me, to be honest with you.
It starts out the first episode. I don't think it's too funny. It's okay. It does get better as you go through it, because there are serious moments in the manga where I just laugh out loud and I just can't stop smiling for the entire day because it's just so funny. So I recommend watching the first couple episodes.
It's very much in the zany style comedy, and I've never been good with zany.
Yeah, well, the
But,
premise is that it's one, like, in comedy there's a straight guy and then there's the funny guy. Well, the main character is the straight guy and everybody else in the world is the funny guy, basically.
Okay.
His sister, and his sister's also one of the straight people. The main character, you
It's
haven't
not
met
been
his sister
introduced
though.
yet in
She hasn't been.
anime.
Yeah, but she's funny. It's pretty good. I like it. It's funny. Just need to get to a point where I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just dragging it out.
Where the zany just isn't completely overwhelming like it is in the first
Yeah.
episode, when you have no idea what's supposed to be going on.
It drops you in pretty deeply.
Yeah, a little bit.
But once you
Probably why it didn't catch on with me very well. Okay, that's what I've been. And Kingdoms of Amalur is still an interesting game. I think I'm like 30 hours in, and I haven't even finished the first zone yet of 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a long game, but I'm having fun with it. I bought the DLC, all of it, because
Well, you
it's
may as
pretty
well.
cool. Yeah. So it's a fun game. The the lore is slightly more interesting and slightly less. See, it's kind of like your classic fantasy style RPG. You know, you got humans, you got elves. Kind of, they call them Alpha because I don't know, they want it to be different or something. And then they have the Fae. Now, the Fae are kind of like your traditional elves. You know, tree hugging, ooh, we're one with nature and all this stuff. Uh, the big difference is they don't really die. And by that I mean they can die, but if they die, they kind of reincarnate and just come back. Sort of. It's not explained very well. And one of the factions that you can join is called, I think it's the Court of Ballads or something like that, House of Ballads. And basically, it's just these heroes of the Fae who just retell their own stories over and over again because I don't know, it's always Fae against Fae, so they're always just dying and then coming back, so they just fight again and again and again, and they basically become their own history.
Hmm.
So it sort of becomes a storytelling faction by living through. It comes off basically as a fantasy LARPers kind of thing. So it's strange, but I don't think they pull it off very well because one of the big conceits of the game is that you died and came back, and because of that, you aren't chained by fate anymore. Like everything is preordained. They have people in the world that can tell you your future and how you're going to die, and you will die like that, guaranteed. But the main character is not bound by fate, so he can change everything.
So that kind of screws that concept up. If you have an entire race that can just die like anything, just
Yeah,
it's
and
like a regular day for them.
yeah, it's basically fate. They do it over and over again because it's fated to happen. That's the way their history works. They just keep doing it over and over again to preserve the story, I guess, is the way they look at it. It's very strange. It's a very out there perspective, and it's hard to explain properly. But the thing is, it's not done very well because the idea that the main character can change fate is one thing, but the first quest of the House of Ballads is that something in their story has changed because one of their heroes has died when he shouldn't have. But you didn't do anything there. So it doesn't make sense because you're supposed to be the only one that can change fate, but fate has changed anyway. It doesn't make much sense. So I think the basic tenet of what that race is doesn't make much sense and doesn't work because of the story they tried to tell, unfortunately. It's very interesting what they tried to do, but I don't think they did it very well.
Does it
That might be
eventually tie back to your character in a very obscure way, or is it just not at all?
Not so far. I think maybe it will eventually in like the main plot, but I haven't seen it so far. So it's like the main antagonist of that whole quest line is like, I find you fascinating because you have changed fate like I have, even though I have no reason to be able to change fate. Whatever. It was a weird thing. The plot is not great, so I'm not that impressed by it, but the gameplay's good, so I enjoy playing the game, I guess. It's a shame. It's also a shame that the studio shut down, went bankrupt. Oh well.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's kind of your government's fault, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Wait,
In
why?
this case, basically, I think it was the governor of whatever state they were in gave them a loan to, get their studio off the ground, and they made the game, and then that governor was voted out of office or whatever, and then the new governor said, okay, we want our money back right now. So, yeah, they couldn't do that. So,
Well,
they
that's
went
what
bankrupt because of
That's
it.
what you get for taking government loans.
I guess so. mean,
I
it
don't
sucks for
think
them.
loans work like that, but okay.
They don't.
Hmm.
They don't work like that. It's the thing.
I mean, there's like contracts and stuff for
Yeah,
that
even
to
with
make sure that
government loans,
doesn't
there's
happen.
contracts.
I have no idea of the specifics. I just know the general idea of what happened is basically the government wanted their money back on the investment they made immediately, and the
Yeah.
developer didn't have it. So
Yeah, that's not how
Went belly.
finances work. That really shouldn't have happened. If I was at studio, I'd have taken that shit to court. But hey,
okay, against the government.
it's probably a state government. They can take it to federal court.
I guess. I don't know. I just know it all went badly. It's a shame. Then again, they were trying to make that game an MMO, and that's probably why they were trying to turn it into a single-player game, because they needed the money back right then. So they just said, okay, let's release this and get it out the door so we can make some money back so we can start paying this loan. And it just wasn't enough. Oh well. I'd like the game to be patched, but I'm not so keen on an MMO of this game because it wouldn't be that great. Because it'd be an MMO, and MMOs just generally kind of aren't great.
Not really.
Yeah.
Just saying. So that's what I've been doing, and I rambled a lot, like I usually do.
Whatever.
But I tried to cut myself off earlier because I wasn't the last one doing the rambling. So, finally, we have Zero. What have you been doing this week?
Wait, before you
Okay.
get to yours, do you
Yes?
think you would be able to rewatch Log Horizon? I've kind of I made this realization that I don't think I could watch it again, because all the episodes are about a discovery, and once you realize
Yeah.
what that is, it kind of loses its value.
I'd say the moments where they do. There are some pretty good moments that would be worth watching again for. You know?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Like when he gets control of the bank. Or not
Yeah,
the
that
bank,
was
but
satisfying.
the guild hall. Yes, that I would watch a million times. But, okay, on to what I was doing this week. I can't exactly remember everything that I've done this week, because, oh no, my brain's tired.
Drugs?
So, no. I'm just
Bees?
tired. I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning. Actually, I woke up at 6:40 because of the way my body works. Internal body clock is just trolling me. But some things that did happen this week was I found some new animes or not animes, but new mangas. Was reading a lot of mangas this week. I'm also starting to write the next update for Anti-God Messiah, my fic, which is only one chapter, but it has now over 200 favorites and follows, and over 70 reviews,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little bit ridiculous, but I'm working on an update for that now. Something that did happen this week that was kind of nice was yesterday I was working as the cook for KFC, and I was like, what some people in my store did was they ordered a pizza from Domino's, which just opened up right next to our store. There are Domino's, so they walk in and then everyone's like, "Hey!" It was up front at the counter, like cheering for the pizza guy. It was great. Got to eat pizza
Okay.
at KFC, and I finished
What?
at like 9:50 because pizza's great.
Well,
is.
Everybody got a
yeah.
slice. Everybody got a slice. It's nice.
Fuck Domino's, but yeah.
Yeah, the pizza was cold.
Right next door, and it still ended up cold.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty bad.
hilarious.
The pizza wasn't that good, but it was pizza.
That's a microcosm of Domino's as a whole. Right there. That's all you need to know.
But
Yeah. If they'd robbed you of money, then it would probably be the whole Domino's experience in one single delivery.
so that was
Domino's.
that was the only interesting thing I can think of for this week. Because I'm just too tired. Oh, I do. Oh wait, no. I started. I didn't mention this last podcast, but I've been playing Dark Souls.
Oh god. Okay.
And I got to. I just had to restart and make a new character because I put points into resistance,
Yep.
which is the most useless stat in the entire game. And
Yep.
and so my character was way weaker when he should have been way stronger. So
Did I manage to
I'm-
convince you to do that, or was that something else?
That was you. Yeah.
All right.
Slicer helped me. And it's the games. I'm moving through the game a lot quicker. I already got down to. I already got through the depths pretty much. I'm right at the depths, like at the halfway point. Uh, and I only started like a day ago. I got through that all in like 1 day, 2 days. But um, once you get the hang of it, Dark Souls can be pretty not as challenging because once you know everybody's attack patterns, it's pretty easy. Uh, I have some pretty awesome feats in that game where the stray demon in the asylum, when you return there, basically you fall through the ground and you end up in front of this big demon dude who's like, 4 or 5 times your size, and he shoots a giant fireball at you that could instant kill you, or at least combo you enough to just so that you die. Well, I went in there and I fought him naked. Like, I removed all my armor, and then I just and I wielded my sword with 2 hands, and I went in there, and I was like, let's do this. Because you gotta be fast to beat that guy. So I just
Okay.
Leroy Jenkins my way in there, and I drop, and I start rolling around. And I'm like, just rolling and stabbing him in the butt, stabbing him in the butt. He jumps up, falls down, tries to crush me. I roll back, roll around, stab him in the butt. Didn't hit me once. It's great.
Are you talking about the first boss or the first boss
No,
that is underneath the
this-
floor when you come back?
the one that's underneath the floor.
I
in
hated
the
that
asylum.
one.
Went in there naked, sword with 2 hands, boom. I had the dark wood grain ring, so my role was basically me doing like somersaults, or
Ninja rolls, ninja twirls. It's
I think
ridiculous.
it's front hand spring or whatever, the opposite of back handspring, and like cartwheels and stuff. And so I'm cartwheeling around the room naked with just a sword. And I'm just
See, I
stabbing him.
had the heaviest armor I could, and I needed that ring, but I got locked out of getting it. That sucked.
I went in there like level 20 or so, and I beat all the guys in that forest area with tactics. I talked to the lady, cat lady, the cat that's female and has a weird mouth. And I talked to her, and I was like, "Hey, let me join your covenant." She's like, "Okay." And then I go out there, and this guy spawns, and this ninja spawns, and I walk up to the ninja and I kick him off the ledge. And then I quit, reload, I get it, and then his stuff appears where he was. I get his stuff, and then like his friend, he was a bodyguard of this dude, and the dude's like, "Hey, you traitor!" And he comes to kill me, and then I kicked him off the ledge, and that's how I got the Darkwood Grain Ring the first time. So
That's the easiest
Yeah.
way to kill people in that game, actually. It's just kicking them until
Knock
they
people
fall off
ledge,
something.
yeah.
kick them off the ledge. It's so good. I love it. And so I was rolling around fighting this even naked. I didn't even have to. I was wearing light armor. I had the light roll already.
I hate you.
And the other thing was I fought there's 2 bosses called Smaug or whatever you want to say it, and Ornstein or Ornstein, however you want to say it.
Mhm.
Bleh.
They're
And
like
I
one
fought.
of the big horrible bosses, right?
Yeah, there's a big fat guy, and then there's a small guy that's really fast. So I fought them in
Oh
thief
god,
armor.
those guys.
I was fighting them in the thief armor. You know that thief armor you get at the beginning of the game if you're a thief?
Yep.
I fought
Why?
them in thief armor. It was upgraded to like +8 or whatever. So I fought them in thief armor with a fire Uchi Katana +5. I was dealing 56 damage to Ornstein, and he has like 3,000 HP at super form.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I beat the both of them.
First try, or do you have to do it more than once?
I had to do it more than once, but yeah, I'd like 5th or 6th try. I got it.
That's not bad.
Rolling around at the speed of sound, you know.
I mean, I was
places
overpowered
to
as
go.
hell for well, okay, as much
Hello,
as you
my
can get in Dark
rainbow.
Souls, but
So, Dark Souls. Stop laughing. You can't talk. So
I'm okay.
the
I'm
one.
okay.
So the one level I hate the most in Dark Souls is this area called the Tomb of Giants, where it's just dark. It's completely dark. You can't see because it's dark.
Yeah,
dark?
you can't
Yeah, it's
you can't
dark.
even see anything around you, so you fall. There's holes everywhere.
I had a skull
fun.
lantern when I went in there, and I round around a corner, and there's these archers behind me, and there's this giant skeleton in front of me. So the archers shoot me, the skeleton slashes me, and I die.
Oh,
It's,
is that the basically it's just a giant cavern and it's all like cliffs and stuff?
yeah,
Yes?
it's
Yes.
dark.
Yeah, you don't
I've-
you don't fight anything in there. I don't know why you fought anything. You just run.
I killed things though. My second time through, I killed pretty much everything. There was a Black Knight that came out of the darkness, and I stabbed him. It sounds like a movie.
Fuck
Black
those
Knight
guys.
out of the darkness.
I watched Giant Bomb play that section. It was something. Basically, at one point, it's like walking along a really narrow cliff, and there's two guys just ahead of him shooting him with arrows. So he shoots one of them back. He thinks he kills it, runs up to try and take out the other one. The first one was hiding around a corner and drop kicks him off a cliff.
Oh,
Oh,
I also
that game's brutal.
in that game I had possibly the best PvP match ever. There's this one part where there's these two Silver Knights, and they've got big Dragon Slayer bows, and their arrows are
Oh,
the size
God,
of
that part.
javelins.
Fuck
Right?
that part. Oh.
I hate that part. But I got through it, right? And I killed the archer on the right. And then as soon as I kill him, it says, Dark Spirit blah 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 has invaded. I'm like, okay, cool. So I move around the corner where he was, and I just sit there and wait. And the guy tries to run up, and he just dies. It was great.
Oh, that's perfect.
That was the best PvP match I ever went through. It's the only one I've won, because I suck.
Yeah, PvP is kind of hard in that game because everyone's good.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing.
I'm gonna have to play that game again at some point. I've got to finish it at some point, someday.
I'm not gonna touch
fun.
that game.
Yeah,
It's like
that
a
part
badge
he's
of
talking
honor
about, it
finishing
takes
that
you-
game.
It takes you about 15 or 20 minutes to get back to that part from the nearest spawn, and I did that 25 times. I was stuck at that part for 3 hours. Oh, it was infuriating.
I'm a fast character though, so I can just roll.
Yeah, I was the exact opposite.
I love being
I
a thief
even tried
character.
taking off my armor once, and I got slaughtered.
I love being a thief character. You're so freaking fast.
That game is just brutal. I mean, on the face of it, it's an RPG, but no, you cannot win that game with stats. You have to be skilled at playing that game.
Yeah.
You have
I
to
don't
know
about
how
that.
to play it. You
I
do.
don't know.
I mean, there is you can supposedly play as a pyromancer, and that will be easy at the beginning. But then you won't know how to fight with melee. You won't be able to do it because you won't have practiced for like all of the early levels. So you'll be rubbish at it, and you'll just get ruined further into the game.
Oh, I wanna quickly say something. I just remembered the new Nintendo Direct came out,
Okay,
and they announced
Little
a whole
Mac and
bunch of
Smash.
stuff.
Yeah.
Little Mac is in Smash.
who's that?
He's from
The guy from Punch Out.
Oh, right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
so
As
great.
with all the Super Smash Brother videos, he looks incredibly overpowered.
I love it because what he does is he's so small that he can actually run in the space between Mario's fireballs. He can run underneath Mario's fireballs that he fires. It's great.
Yeah, he's
And
really short. They
His
make fun
dodging
of it,
looks like it's
actually.
really fast too. Yeah, his dodging looks like it's really fast.
And I can
he
buy a
ca-
Wii U.
He can't recover very well, but if he basically, from what I've seen, is the more damage he deals, the more he gets up a meter, and once that meter's full, he can one-hit KO everybody on the stage if he hits them. He could, like his side special becomes a one-hit KO or regular or standard.
Yeah,
special.
whoever you hit. It's not like it's
Yeah.
it's screen clearing move
Yeah,
or anything.
it's an uppercut. So basically, you just can one-hit KO people. Thing is, though, it looks hard to maintain because in the games, getting that power meter full, you have to hit people without getting hit. Because if you get hit, it goes
Yeah.
down. So basically, the longer he can go without getting hit, the more of a threat he becomes.
He has a counter though, so that's
Yeah.
really going to come into play.
So I'm guessing the down B is the counter, the side B is a dashing punch. The standard B is his like super punch that he can charge up. And his up B is he sort of does a corkscrew jump with his fist up in the air. So
Yeah, because
Okay.
we totally need more charge punch characters.
Yeah, but he can't keep the charge.
So we're 40 minutes in and we're still talking about Super Smash Brothers. Can we not talk about Super Smash Brothers?
Okay, we're not talking about
Sure.
Super Smash Brothers.
Sorry, I'm just not a fan of the minutiae of fighting games. I don't play them. I don't know anything about them, and I hate to be this
Smash
niggling,
isn't
but
a fighting game.
it's pretty much it's a cheapo, really easy style of fighting game to play. Not necessarily to master, but to play. You can just jump in and play it, whatever. You distracted me.
I'll link the
It's
video
not really
for
the
Kenchi
focus
to
of the
watch.
podcast. Is
I'll
the
link-
minutiae of fighting games. So if we could not do that, that'd be great.
I think Kenchi wants to see it. You want to see the video? I'll link it for you.
No, because I'm not gonna buy a Wii U.
Shh.
Do it. Do
You
it.
know you want to.
No.
Get that in Wonderful 101.
Yes.
See, peer pressure doesn't work on me, so it's not gonna work.
Oh well.
Hmm.
You tried. So we're moving on to the next topic. The next topic is our our weekly Bleach is Dumb segment.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
God damn it, that really has become our thing, hasn't it? The
Yeah.
yay thing, yeah. Oh.
A team of Fluttershies we are.
Had to make it weird, didn't you, Slicer? So, yeah, Bleach is dumb again this week. More than being just annoying story and logic-wise, this is annoying general concept-wise. So, that Rukia fight that I was talking about last week, I was absolutely right. She did not, in fact, win that fight. Because Fear Dude has bullshit fear powers that means he's immune to... I don't fucking know. I don't care.
Is
The-
it because she explained her powers that she lost?
I don't think so.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah, I think Fear Dude is just strong enough to break through the ice that she froze him with, or something. And then he has bullshit fear about... He or she, I'm not entirely sure. It's very androgynous, but... has bullshit fear powers that work through eyes. So, like, I think the idea was her blood can't run cold because it's already below 0 or something, was last week's. But,
Yeah.
Fear Dude or Lady can invoke fear by looking at you and getting you through your nerve endings or something.
Your optic nerve endings? Or
Yes.
Like... Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
through the
No,
optic nerves and then through
wasn't
all of the
just-
other ones, and it paralyzes
Oh,
you or something.
all-
So, yeah, that happened. So, Rukia is paralyzed and completely unable to do anything, and guess who shows up to rescue her?
Is it Rook or is Ichigo?
Yakuya.
Or maybe Renji?
Yakuya.
Oh, Bakia.
The character who didn't die for some reason during the initial attack. Even
Yeah, I was
though
gonna
it-
say, didn't he die?
He
Yeah.
did not
Ass
die.
kick, he didn't die.
Because Bleach characters don't die. This is the
It was-
perfect opportunity for Bleach characters to die with next to no consequences because it's the last arc and also because nobody cares about Bleach anymore and they still don't have the balls to kill off characters.
If you're in the last arc, that's when you can kill off characters. That's.
It's a free
It's like the
pass
only
to do
time
what
it's
you want.
okay.
Yeah, like when they die and then they just come back, and their whole sacrifice or whatever they did means absolutely nothing.
In
It's
fairness,
really-
Byakuya didn't really sacrifice
Yeah.
himself or anything. He just lost badly.
Yeah,
just got
but his
shit
that
stomped on.
moment where you think he's dead, that's gone now. Boo. There you
Mm.
go.
Well, we knew he was
That really
alive
changed.
anyway because he was in a
Mm.
healing hot spring or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that happened. That's not really the issue that I have with this chapter, though. I like Kill la Kill. You know why? Because the main character is kind of like Rukia if she was allowed to be badass.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Rukia and pretty much any female character in Bleach is not allowed to be badass. God damn it, Japan.
Not
Let
for long,
heroines
anyway.
be fucking heroines for once. I'm gonna elaborate.
It's a little
bit.
irritating.
I'm gonna elaborate a little bit. Rukia Kuchiki, from the very beginning of the series, what did she do?
Gave her
Lose?
powers to the male character.
Yes, because she lost. In her first real fight in the show, she lost. And then she is completely powerless for the next 3 arcs, now that I think about it. But for the first one, she is completely powerless and is helping the male character be a hero. Then she is the damsel in distress for the entirety of the Soul Society thing. Then she comes back and wins a fight. She is allowed to win a fight, for once, against basically cannon fodder. But still, she won a fight, I guess. That's
Yay!
something, right? Yeah.
It's more than some characters get.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. That's not a point in their favor, but yeah, that's true. And then what do we have? We have the invasion of Huecamundo, where she is once again kind of a damsel in distress in the Menos Forest, and gets saved by the what's his name dude that was left behind by his team or something.
She did kill what's his face though.
What?
She did kill what's his face though. Like what's the dude that had like all the powers of hollows he'd eaten and such
The-
and such.
Yeah,
Tentacle
and what
guy. I
did
think
she
they
do
called
for
him
that whole
AAA.
fight? For that
Not
whole
kill
fight,
him.
she was pining over that what's-his-name dude that it was pretending to be.
Yeah.
That entire fight was dedicated to her being morose and whiny about this dude that she had some relationship with. It was a fight defined by another character that was a dude. Even in the fights that she wins, it's all about the dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what happened after that? Then we had the war thing that was going on. Did she do anything in that?
Technically, nobody that went to Hueco really did anything about that.
Except for Ichigo, who got pulled out of it because he's fucking Ichigo, center of the goddamn universe. Anyway, well, kind of. In fairness, Ichigo's handled pretty decently in that he loses more often than he wins, I think. But, yeah, so she didn't do anything in the Winter War at all. And then it comes back and she loses again. And gets saved by a dude. Again.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
And then, in fact, we have Orihime, who naturally,
Oh
as a
god,
woman,
don't even get
is a
started on
We're gonna go
her.
pacifist.
into this.
Of course she is. And then we have Tatsuki, who is not allowed to have powers, even though reasonably she probably should have. Then we have... Who else is a female character? Rangiku is a female character. She... Does she do anything besides have giant boobs?
Okay, her Zanpakuto is too lazy for her to actually get her Bankai, first of all. That's what Word of God says. Second
Okay.
of all, she's basically, Gin is her, Rukia's dead boyfriend thing. So, there's that too.
Okay.
Um,
Does she actually do anything in a fight? Does she help at all at any point?
Not, she doesn't win. She doesn't won anything that I've seen.
Tell you what, she was in that thing with that cannon fodder thing that Rukia killed. She was in that fight, and I think she won one of them, maybe. It might have been with the help of, what's his name? The 10th captain.
Oh no, she did it herself.
Did she?
Like, they had to-
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a female character that won a fight. Go power, I guess. Then we have, Retsu Unohana, who was pretty much stated as being the head of the medical corps, only she's terrifying to everyone, including Kenpachi, the big badass head of the 11th. It's revealed why. It's
I
because
really hated that.
she was the previous Kenpachi, which means she was the
Yeah.
previous strongest. And we are shown this at the point where she decides she has to fight Kenpachi so she can lose. She is revealed to be a strong character so that she can lose to a male character.
Does that even work? I mean, like, doesn't she die from that, and it like doesn't have any effect at all?
I think it's uncertain whether she's alive at this point, because Bleach doesn't kill characters. It's implied that she's dead, which means she's probably alive because Bleach doesn't kill characters.
Yeah, probably. There's a good chance of that.
Yeah. God damn it, Japan. So that was my rant for Bleach that I had to get off my chest. Because that really pissed me off for some reason.
You okay?
Hmm.
Do you feel slightly better now that you have it off your chest? Or
Mildly.
is it like, I hate
You know, I liked
everything
Rukia
still?
as a character. She was interesting. It's
Yeah.
really unfortunate that she got dumped with the damsel in distress role in every single story that she's in.
When she was allowed to be an original character, she was fine, but when she had too many tsundere traits, they kind of got predictable.
Hmm. Oh well. If you want decent, female strong characters, watch Kill la Kill, because it does that a hell of a lot better, even with all the fancy.
Yeah. The male characters are kind of the ones that are useless.
Pretty much, yeah, all of them. There's like one that's kind of half decent, and then even he's kind of outclassed by just about all of the female characters in the show.
Yeah, he's awesome for one episode, and then he gets kind of outclassed.
Yep. Oh well. I like Kill la Kill.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good show. People should watch it.
Just, don't have anyone else around when you watch, what was it, episode 15?
Which one's that?
The one with the bat
Oh.
scene. Yeah, that was,
That was
Wow.
a thing. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil that, but that. Yeah. Relationships are weird in that show. But,
Yeah.
anyway. So, anyone got anything to say about how stupid Bleach is before we move on?
Well, nothing new since we basically went over most of what we thought was stupid last week.
Hmm.
So, I don't have anything new stupid to add.
Yeah, like I said before, just, the Retsu thing. I liked it better when they feared her because she was a doctor and knew how to take them apart. Like, and keep them alive while she did so. That's horrifying.
Yeah.
That should be why they're scared of her, not she's the previous Kenpachi. That was bullshit.
Oh, Bleach. Do something right for once. I'd like at some point, eventually, for the Bleach is dumb segment to become a Bleach is kind of okay this week segment. It seems like an impossible
You are
dream.
asking way too much.
It seems like an impossible dream, but I would love it to happen. Just once. Just once. We've had this segment for 2 episodes, and I'm asking for that. Anyway, so we're on to the next topic. The next topic is Flanderization. Those not in the know, this would be the trope where one aspect of a character becomes basically a crutch for the writers, and they expand on it and expand on it until it just becomes the whole character. So
Yeah.
the you know the name of it based on Flanders, who was initially just a kind of nice neighborly religious guy who went to church every week and actually paid attention during sermons, and then over time he became this super religious, completely devout kind of guy whose verbal tics eventually just overtook his speech entirely, to the point where he just said diddly diddly do do diddly
Yeah.
diddly do all the time. Yeah,
It's
that's
amusing, but
Flanderization.
man, did they go overboard with it sometimes.
Sometimes.
Mhm.
Sitcoms
taking-
in particular are really bad for this particular trope.
It's like taking a few traits that you're using originally to make a character stand out, and just pushing it past 11 on the dial, like taking it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes even higher than 11. I mean, that's like they have a diverse character and then they just turned him or her into one thing.
Yeah.
And that's not good. That's bad. It's really bad.
Leading into our next topic. Flanderization.
That is the topic. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm zoning out.
I was
I'm
going to say,
sorry,
did you step out for a couple of minutes or something?
Yeah, I did, kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're talking about Flanderization Zero.
Okay.
Glad you could join us.
Sorry.
It's all right. So it's a thing.
Yeah, it happens a lot in some of the big shonen things.
Does it? I haven't really
I-
noticed, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Has anybody in this podcast been guilty of getting close to that or doing it?
What you mean in the
Flanderization?
story?
Yeah.
In the story? Yeah. I don't think so, but I'm not entirely sure it's something you could pick out yourself without someone pointing it out
Yeah.
for you.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
don't
well, how about
think
this?
I have. No. The only one I could think I would do that for is Choji, but I gave him a few extra things that he liked that were kind of secret-ish. So, no, I don't think so.
I don't think Flanderization is as common as you might think it is, Zero. I think most characters in Shonen end up just being a tick, and then that's it. That's all they get. Like, Choji is fat, he eats food. Ino is pretty girl, she likes pretty things like flowers and shit. Shikamaru is lazy, and he's lazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Most characters start with just a very small one aspect, and then they usually expand upon that.
Yeah, anime
Whereas
tend to
Flanderization-
go backwards with it. They sort of start out
think-
Flanderized and then go back and give them development.
I think Shikamaru is actually, in a lot of fanfiction, he is on the borderline of that. He's mostly lazy. It's like 80%, and then he has some other stuff sometimes, depending on the author.
Yeah. But Flanderization, it really
It does
stinks when
happen.
it does happen.
It happens a lot in Bash. Like, it's basically the entire point of Bash fix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
You take a character that's complex, you focus on only one aspect of them, and boom, there you go.
Mm-hmm. That's the easiest way to do it in fanfiction, anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's actually, if you think about it, it might be more common in fan fiction than anything else.
Maybe,
I
yeah,
still think
I'd say.
sitcoms have like the monopoly on Flanderization, but
Yeah.
kind of.
Sitcoms
You'll have to
do
name
that
an
a lot.
example, because
Yeah, 'cause
I've watched
I
like
haven't
2
watched those
sitcoms in my
before.
entire life.
Okay, How I Met Your Mother has Ted Mosby, the main character. He's kind of pretentious, and then a few seasons in, he's completely pompous and up his own arse all the time, and is going to high class parties, even though he's not that high class or anything, and stuff like that. Barney Stinson is a womanizer, and then he is a disturbingly disturbing womanizer as seasons go on, etc.
Hmm.
Joey from Friends is kind of stupid. Joey from Friends is eventually very, very stupid. Monica from Friends is kind of obsessive and a little bit shrieking harpy, a little bit. And then as time goes on, she becomes obsessive compulsive and demanding and short-tempered and angry a lot of the time and shrieking all the
That
Friend-
one I actually remember, surprisingly enough.
Friends
That
did
was
this
pretty
a lot.
bad.
Yeah. So
Why
yeah.
with sitcoms though?
Sorry?
Why with sitcoms like that though?
Mm.
You're getting like several very relevant examples that I actually picked up on because I watch sometimes How I Met Your Mother, and I noticed that now.
I think it's because they have so many episodes. It's like they run out of stuff to do.
The entire point of the shows is comedy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
eventually these things that these characters have been known to do become the low-hanging fruit as far as comedy's concerned. People expect them to do this kind of stuff, so they do this kind of stuff, and hey, it's a cheap laugh. I guess that's how it works.
I typically I see that when you have a, say, in certain like animes or mangas or whatever, when the character has like a point where they're like really important and you get to see all these different sides of them, and then when they get reduced to a side character, that's when it really they start to sort of fade into the background and become flanderized.
Can you give an example?
I'm trying to think of I kind of want to say. I got one on Soro no Otoshimano, or Heaven's Lost Property. That happens with some of the characters that are introduced that sort of fade to the background. You don't they're like, oh, they have this sort of maybe little bit complex thing. It's mainly a comedy manga, but it's got some seriousness to it. So that mix tends to not turn out so well in certain points, because this character has an arc, or they have depth, and then they fade to the background after their little point where they're important, and they become like just a side character. So it happens, actually, kind of. I'd say it's not uncommon, but it's not really that common, but it's more in the uncommon category, but it still happens.
Yeah. I think it's more of a Western thing than an Eastern, mostly.
Mostly,
But,
yeah.
You know, it'll still happen, and it's still something you should watch out for, authors.
I just thought of a character that people flanderize the hell out of without even bashing him.
Itachi?
Rock Lee. Rock Lee.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
That's
Does
a
he
good
have
point,
depth
yeah.
besides his thing that he
He
does?
does, but people
Does.
just take the youth thing to like. They just pick out the youth thing in the training, and it's apparently they make it more insane than it actually is in the series, and just make it
Okay.
absurd. And
That's probably why I don't have any good view of that character at all. Because I only know Naruto through fanfiction. So I only know Rock Lee through all the terrible flanderizations of his character, I guess.
yeah, Rock Lee actually has some depth to him. Like the entire after the shooting exam, Gar tore his arm and leg apart, and he had to get it fixed. You actually get depth on his character when he's getting it fixed. And I don't know, even when they're like in most fanfics, people will just have him yell "youth" every other sentence.
Youth.
Have him obsessed with working out and all that shit, and they won't give him any intelligent lines or any intelligent. He's just there as the body. He's the body. He doesn't say anything smart or semi-smart. Rock Lee actually had some smart things to say, or do, or act in the series. He did.
He's not
cool
even the
things.
face either. That sucks.
It's basically eyebrows and youth, and ooh, I gotta work out because I work hard. So I gotta work hard every second of every day. And that's all his character is to most writers.
I almost feel sorry for Rock Lee, but I don't care. So,
Aww.
so I guess that gets everyone else to feel sorry for Rock Lee because I don't care. one way to go about it, I suppose. Sorry, I'm just kind of checking out of the conversation because I'm desperately looking for a recommendation to give this week.
Oh.
I've gone through most of my alerts already. Okay, so has anyone got anything else to say for Flanderization?
I don't. I think that's it.
Nah.
Like I say, it's probably something to watch out for in case you maybe do it at some point in your story, but it's not the easiest thing to pick out. In your own work, at least.
Yeah, you got to think about it, but for certain characters, it's easier to slip into than others.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next topic is fan service.
Yay.
Well
Or
done.
nobody else?
Well done, Zero.
No,
Oh,
we're gonna
being
kill
the
this.
only one
We're
to
gonna
cheer
kill
for
this.
fan
We're gonna
service.
kill that before it becomes a thing.
Sorry, I zoned you guys out because I'm comforting somebody. What happened? What'd we say?
Fan service.
Yeah,
Oh,
fan service.
awesome!
Nothing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
As
Okay.
long as it's not from Evangelion. Misato does not get to say that ever.
As long as
Am
it's
I the
not
only one who gets
creepy.
that? Please tell me I'm not.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys a picture. I'm going to put it in the link dump, by the way,
Oh
for the
god.
listeners. I want you to tell me what you think of this picture, or rather, what you think of this character design.
I'm dreading this. 'Cause
Um,
every time someone links something, it's probably not something I want to see.
I have a question.
It's not that terrible.
I have a question.
Shoot.
What is this for?
Where'd her pants go?
She doesn't wear any.
That looks extremely uncomfortable, by the way.
It
Kind
really
of.
does.
It does.
Like-
That's
like-
like a hell of a wedgie. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I know. And then, you've got the cold air, or, maybe she lives somewhere hot. But then why would she wrap her entire leg?
Hmm.
The design makes no
I
sense.
really want those swords, though. I mean, wow, those are
Yeah.
awesome.
That's part of the allure.
It's like she's wearing... It's like she's wearing... Her shirt's like an apron. She doesn't even have
Why the
really a
fuck is she
back
wearing
to it.
sleeves?
I can't tell. Is it cold outside or is it hot outside?
It's kind of temperate.
And,
Really?
and if she's got, like, those swords, like, you need actual armor if you're gonna go fighting things.
Those aren't arm bands or arm guards or arm warmers. Those are sleeves. Where the fuck is the rest of the shirt?
Those are
Okay,
like bandages,
it's,
actually.
Now, I want you guys to give me an opinion. Do you think this character is an attractive character design?
It's a unique one,
Okay.
but I mean, like,
Sure.
what specifically are you referring to? Is she like an attractive woman or just like attractive clothes?
Is it an attractive character design? Just generally, complete picture.
It's an overly sexed character design.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
honestly,
I-
it's not really, honestly, it's not really doing anything for me. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
I can't get past the over the topness of it. It's
Yeah.
just it's too much.
It's
It's
too
too
I
much.
find that
outlandish.
interesting because I felt the same way when I saw it. It is entirely possible that I thought that because this character happens to be very psychologically damaged, and also
She's
a
the Laura Bailey
hermaphrodite.
character. She's the Laura Bailey character from Nier.
She is the Laura Bailey character from Nia. Yes,
Yay.
this
I
is
use
that character.
context clues.
So,
So you play
I
with a
didn't even know
constant
that,
erection
pay attention to
then,
that,
or
and still
I
said
don't.
that.
I don't find this design attractive. Which is, I'm not entirely sure whether that was intentional or not, but it's very effective. Because the idea behind the design is that she dresses in absurdly feminine clothing, as in that's basically half of a sleeping teddy, I guess you'd call it, like lingerie. And then it's backless, so it's basically an apron teddy kind of thing. So, yeah, that's excessively feminine, I guess you could call it, and that's kind of the point of the design. Because she's trying to throw it in people's faces that she's feminine because she has a penis. And has been ostracized because of that.
Oh, right. That's okay. That's the character you were. Okay.
That's that
Yeah.
character, yes. So, I find it interesting that you don't find that design, none of you, myself included, find that design particularly attractive, just generally, even not knowing that. So, over the top, certainly, just doesn't work for people, apparently.
I mean, it's like if I played the game, I would probably get past the outlandishness and it'd be fine. It'd be
Hmm.
nice to look at.
Yeah.
But just seeing an image like this, I don't. It's too much right away.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
the thing is when it's more when you're talking about attractive, I can't really see like a random character as oh that's really attractive. It's more so if you actually know the character, you're like okay, maybe that works for that character.
Yes, Zero, you're so deep. My point
I'm
was
so deep.
that,
I'm like as deep as a pond of water.
yeah.
I was gonna go with puddle, but okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah, my point was, I forgot what my point was. My point was,
Fan service.
fan service, yep. It's interesting because technically it's fan service, but it's very character driven fan service, I guess you could call it. And it has very much logic and a point in the story, but I guess okay, the fact that it's over the top is kind of beside the point. But the fact that it's so integral to the story that that character design makes sense is interesting, and that's something you don't see very often when it comes to fan service. It's usually fan service is just there because it's fan service. It's a thing. You put it in to titillate viewers slash readers,
Well,
and they enjoy it that way.
it's some people some I'm thinking back to Last Boss X Hero, that manga I was talking about, where the mangaka enters
Yeah.
into the
Yeah, I
manga.
tried
He
that
talks about he made one character a lesbian so because there would be Yuri, and a lot of his readers kept returning for the Yuri. So the fan service is what helped make him slightly popular.
Hmm.
Because it does have an impact on how many people like your stuff, whether good or bad.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
And you can get axed as a mangaka, so you want to include as much stuff as you can to help your chances of not getting axed.
Whatever you can throw in, just throw it in. Hopefully, it sticks. I guess is the
Pretty much, yeah.
methodology there. But to bring up another, very appropriate topic for this topic, Kill la Kill.
Mm.
Another
Yeah,
example
that's-
of there's
That
a-
is
there's a lot of
blatant
fan service.
fan
in there.
service.
A lot.
That's in your face fan service.
Yeah. Often literally, yes. But again, that's actually very integral to the themes and the plot of the story. Because, I mean, it's like 3 episodes in, you get the general theme of the story pretty much explicitly stated outright. The main character has to feel more comfortable in her own skin. Yes?
hmm
Yeah. Hence, get naked in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Mako says that, and it's at first you're like, what the hell, and then you get it.
Yeah. It's like feeling more comfortable with who you are is kind of the general theme of the story overall. And it's what's the word? Reinforced with fan service somehow. I mean, I guess fan service, you can use it as a storytelling device just like any other storytelling device. It's just more unusual implementation of it, I suppose. Or it can be. Or you could just do it because it's fan service and people like that.
Mm.
Dead silence for like 5 seconds.
Dead silence.
Sorry, I found this really funny Evangelion comic. I'm trying to find a quote. It's not working.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Fan service.
Hmm.
Which,
No, like I never thought about it. It's just there, you know. I don't really ever consider it or think about it.
I'm not
I mean,
13 anymore, so I mean
Mm.
it's nice, but it's not gonna win me win my interest.
Yeah.
That being said, I will probably watch a series about boobs to
yeah.
directly contradict what I just said.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
just, I
not
just,
really into that, but if it was presented to me, yeah,
Yeah.
let's watch that.
Slicer, I just read that Evangelion comic. It's plot, symbolism, subtle.
Yeah. That's that pretty much sums it up, more or less. I hate Evangelion. Shit.
Pilot
We've
this giant
noticed.
robot, live with the smoking hot chick. And this one, feisty redhead's not your thing. Now check out this super submissive hottie. We order them in bulk. I hate you, Dad! Yeah, basically Evangelion.
We're probably gonna need to link that now.
Yeah,
Well,
let's link it.
Okay then.
thanks Zero for
Yay.
reading the script. You can read along, listeners.
Yay.
Yay.
Zero's read-alongs.
God, this topic went down the tubes.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's fan service. It always goes down the tubes.
gross.
Yeah.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but it happened when I said that. I'm
Thanks,
sorry
Zero.
to all of our listeners. I'd like
No,
to
he's not.
apologize for my. Okay, I'm sorry. This is a lie, but I'd like to apologize. So, you know,
Blatant lies.
Hmm. Okay.
if you're listening to this and you're like, man, that Zero guy's a complete and utter pig. I hate him. He's horrible. I want him to go die. Send me a gun. Just send me a gun. I'll make sure I'll get it done for you. I'll send you
Whoa,
I'll send you an
dude.
email after it's done.
Okay.
You
So,
missed that joke entirely.
how many lines has this podcast crossed exactly? Like 7, maybe?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
gonna go bury my head in a hole.
So, next topic, please, for the love of God, is exposition. A nice, simple topic that we can just get through and just move on. Christ.
I have an example of that actually.
What exposition?
Yeah.
Are you
It
going
being
to
used
exposit
poorly.
this thing about
actually.
exposition?
No.
Oh.
Maybe, actually. Whatever. A bad example of it would be two characters came upon a metal that's rare in that universe, and at first, the original version, before I had my hands on it, was one character just monologuing about it. Like it being rare and it being hard to find, and the strengths and weaknesses, and uh, that was bad. That's just solid exposition that is not redeemable, and it's very clear that it's exposition.
Hmm.
What you want to do is try and split it up between the two characters. Like
Yeah.
one of them
Get
doesn't
a
know
back
a
and forth
detail about
going.
it, and yeah, it's just the
Yeah.
dialogue.
Lectures are never interesting to listen to.
Says the college student.
Yeah. Yeah, I know from experience.
Yeah, so you would know.
Yeah. Hmm.
But, exposition, it's basically, you don't want to give a big info dump. Just like, I've seen some writers at the beginning of their chapter, they just dump a whole crap of info on you right at the get-go.
Yeah, that's
And
not good.
Then loses your
People
interest
just
right
leave.
away. Yeah. Like if you're doing a Fate Stay Night fic, you don't have to put a whole monologue about what Fate Stay Night is about or what the Holy Grail War is about. You can introduce it through other characters through dialogue.
Hmm. Fanfiction is
I'm-
pretty nice as far as exposition comes because you don't need to do a lot of it. A lot of it's just, people know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Generally
Unless it's a
speaking.
crossover fic, you can pretty safely assume people know a lot of details, so you
Yeah.
don't really need to exposit everything.
Hmm.
And even if you're not, even if you feel the need to explain something, you know what a conversation sounds like. So, just make it part of the conversation. It's not that hard, I don't think.
Well, a lot of people do. Some people don't know what human interaction is.
That's a horrible
That was
thing to say.
terrible. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I'm not at all.
Okay.
Don't apologize. What the hell? I'm sorry, but not at all.
Yeah, I had to take it back after the first apology. Yeah. Anyway, have you guys ever caught yourself doing too much exposition?
Yes.
Not really. I tend to break it up pretty consistently, I think.
I do it a lot. I start to do it a lot when I'm introducing something that's not like if I make like if it's a technique I've made up myself, or
Yeah.
Yeah, I
new
think I've done
facets of
that
a story
before.
that has nothing to do with canon. I'll I'll start to exposition and just stop myself. Be like, I don't need to tell all this in one dump of a conversation,
Yeah.
one dump of a
You
character
give your
focus.
techniques the bad OC treatment.
Yeah.
You're having a bit of mic trouble there, Ken, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just talking low.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, I don't really need to do exposition very often. Uh, I think one of the big examples of exposition that I've had in my stories was one of the last chapters I wrote for Face Every Shadow. Basically, I had this whole set of powers that weren't in the original series, game slash thing, original property. So I had to explain what these powers were, how they worked, and what he can do with them. So I just kind of split it up into separate flashbacks of like other characters explaining it to him right before he starts using them. So just separating it bit by bit, so it's not just completely dumped a load at one time on you. It's just sort of broken up as and when is
That
needed.
also sidestepped the first person issue. So that was cool.
Yeah, that's one way I did it. There's a lot of devices that you can use to make exposition feel a little bit more natural, a little bit more easy to flow into the story rather than just a big info dump
Yeah.
at once. So try and
When
mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Because when I go and and somebody asks me to look at their story and I see they put a big info dump in this one area, it's just it causes you to lose interest quickly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just try and mix it up sometimes.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, you can always go back and try it again with a different method. After all,
Hmm.
there's no like
For those,
set method that you have to use and you have to get it right the first time. Just try something. If it doesn't work, you can go back and fix it, or you can leave it as is and try something different next time. I don't know.
Yeah, the information isn't going anywhere, so I
Hmm.
mean,
Just try it, see
for
what
those,
works.
for those of you listening that don't have any clue what the definitive term of exposition is, the definition of it is a comprehensive description and explanation of an idea or theory. The more you know.
so tune-in exam day, the trope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I don't get it.
Did you read tune-in
Yes, I
exam
did.
day? Do you remember all the chapters that were just pure exposition?
Yeah, there were quite a few of those. Yeah, I think they started
mean-
about the time they went to San, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, granted, a lot of them were pretty interesting, but I
Mm.
mean, just for one read, you can't reread that fic. You can't.
Yeah,
Not without skipping a bunch of chapters.
yeah, that guy puts a lot of effort into his world building, and it's unfortunate that he never really gets to capitalize on it because he, just kind of abandoned his stories halfway through. Oh well.
He's still kind of
Mhm.
active, but not anywhere that most people would see.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually posted anything on his profile in like a year or so. Ever since he did that Magic the Gathering / Buffy crossover, I think it was.
That is a weird crossover.
It is, but it was a good story.
Was it?
Yeah, kind of.
Was it?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright.
We can probably blame Blot for that. Rorschach's Blot.
Oh
He
yeah.
puts out challenges on his Yahoo group. Like he has a list of things Blot wants to see in fan fiction, and people have responded to a few of them. That was probably one of them.
I'll have to make a note to look at those, I guess. I'm still looking through my fucking alerts to see if I can find any recommendations. God damn it. Alright, so I guess that's enough for exposition. We can move on to the next topic. We have basically a pair of topics for this one. The first one is series versus feature. So basically what we mean by this is series as in a series of episodes or like books or short stories or whatever. Just a series of individual stories, whether serialized or one-offs kind of thing. So it's all just a big load of stories that are put together in one big whole, and it gets a lot of time to go over everything and let all the characters breathe and all that stuff. And then we got features, which is your films, your big epic stories that are all told in one big go, and it's kind of short, very compact, but it's a lot neater most of the time, I guess. So preferences. Let's start with that.
It depends on what it's for. If it's for humor, I generally prefer one shots. If in
That's a
regards to
different
fan
topic.
fiction, it is. It is.
Do you mean features as in films?
I thought it was the same general thing for anything, but yeah.
No, splitting these up a little bit. So series versus feature. So we're talking like a big epic novel or like short stories, or we're talking TV show versus a film, or we're talking.
I like series for development.
Hmm.
Features aren't really that.
Yeah.
I mean, features kind of just have to get the point. This is what's happening. This is why it's happening. Go do it.
Hmm.
Basically, features. With series, your motivation, you can have things happen to the characters or whatever, or the universe that causes motivations to change.
Hmm.
But then it has the opposite problem sometimes too. It drags on too much, and then you get uninteresting crap. So it's a trade-off, I guess.
Hmm.
Well, that's a risk, but also with like the features, you can also have things go too fast, and people won't know what the hell just happened. But I just spent 3 hours watching.
Yeah.
What did I get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. As for dragging things out, you can still get that in films. It's just like sequel
Hobbit.
after sequel after sequel after sequel.
Hobbit.
Ish.
3 movies for 1 book.
It's not really for one book. We've been over this. It's just like a combination of all sorts of stuff from multiple different books that Tolkien wrote.
That's my response.
Mm.
Yeah. Kind of like
I
that.
think overall I would prefer a series over a movie.
Like,
Yeah.
Or a
Yeah,
showcase.
that's generally my preference too. I like
Because with this,
character development. I like the characters
Mhm.
being able to breathe and react and have like a lot more development on how they feel about certain things that are going on, and you
Yeah.
can see that in more detail with the more time that it's given. And you just
Having more
you can't do that
time.
with film.
having more
I'm a
time is
sucker
always
for-
better.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for having the time to digest the consequences of actions and occurrences. So,
Mhm.
series.
Yeah, films just tend to have things happen and then something happens after that. Ooh, what do you think happens after that? That's up to you. Because we
Everything-
don't have any more time to show you.
Yeah, things more often than not tend to get rushed in films,
Yeah.
like as opposed to series. Because especially when it comes to things like romance, unless the entire movie's about romance, if there's a romance on the side, you can guarantee it's gonna get rushed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Like to name an example, the Thor and Natalie Portman whole thing, their romance.
Yeah.
That didn't need
Yeah,
to
that
be
was-
there.
Yeah, it was really rushed. The Hobbit, with that whole romance thing that happened, and the dwarf
That had
payoff.
romance in it?
Actually, there's hinted at that, oh, they like each other or whatever. There's a
Sam
sort
and
of an
Frodo?
implied love triangle between her and Legolas. It wasn't supposed to be in the entire world because it's the Hobbit and the dwarf. It was just weird. Came out of nowhere.
Still looking for recommendations.
It doesn't have to be a fic, you know. It can be like anime.
Or music. Or anything. Or book.
Yeah.
You don't want me to
I
recommend
recommended music last week.
You don't want me to recommend music. I would recommend every In-Me album that has ever been released ever.
Of course, I'm not going to listen to it. It's for our fans to sample.
I guess. So
Hey, just
go check out some of
get
In-Me
like a-
songs. It's a good band. If you like
If you
progressive stuff.
If you like Fandom Flux, you may also enjoy blankety blank. It's like Amazon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
sure.
what, get like a list of links together of the mood music you have.
Oh Christ, that's a hell of a list.
But that's why I said like 5
Okay.
of them.
I can just literally say right now that I just listen to the Proto Man mostly when I'm writing like M1N47 now.
Really?
Yeah, most of the time it's either them or just some other random music I have because I like their music and the idea of the Proto Man are singing about Mega Man and Proto Man. And they're both machines, and they deal with their conflicts. And you've got Minato, who's dealing with the conflict of, whether human or, this whole machine personage that he's kind of said where he's like, oh, I'm an ASW now, I guess.
Yeah, I can definitely see how those would help each other.
So it helps me get into the mood to write it. It's very specific to that though. I listen to other music though. I always find it's better to find music that fits the tone of your story. Whether in lyrics or just style.
Or theme, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've just started rebuilding my playlists because I accidentally deleted them because I'm a dumbass.
You don't have an undo delete button?
Well, basically, I use Fubar 2000, and basically the way that works is if you have a playlist but you haven't saved it, then as soon as you open a music file from like Windows Explorer, then it'll just open in that playlist, and the playlist is gone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I lost it by that.
I don't even have a playlist. I listen to everything from rap to back to remixes of the background music from Mega Man levels to the intro themes for anime.
That's not an ideal system. I can say that much. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. It's just there's better ways, like
Just throw it on shuffle and whatever. That's how
I wish
roll.
mine had shuffle, because I've got like 100 gigabytes of music, and I only get through like a quarter of it.
How do you not
Whenever
have
I
shuffle?
listen to music.
Everything has shuffle.
I'm sure it does, I just haven't found it. And I'm just using basic folders in Windows 7. Not like a fancy playlist or anything. Just like with the player the computer comes with.
Mm.
We've
You
gotten a
still
little
have
off
shuffle.
topic, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
Yeah.
We were talking
Yeah.
series versus feature. I think we got a consensus that we prefer series, just in general.
Yeah.
Which brings us to
One shots versus long form, I believe, is the next topic, which is pretty much what it says on the tin. You get a one shot story versus a long story where it can go anywhere from, say, 20,000 words to 1,000,000,000 words. I don't know. Just single one and go and done stories versus just it keeps going and keeps telling the story because it's such a long story that you just can't get it done in a single go, I guess. I don't know where my head's at today.
Not without having the longest chapter in history.
Mm.
So, preferences doesn't seem like a good way to go at this topic. So, good points and bad points of both, I guess. We'll go for that. Long form is very, very likely to get abandoned.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Yep. Seen so many, because I pretty much read long form almost exclusively, and almost all of them have gotten abandoned. I have like 100 stories in my alerts, just all of them incomplete and all of them still having last updated 2013 or earlier.
Yeah. What's the turnover rate for Fix anyway? Like 98%?
What do you mean?
I mean, like they get abandoned. What's the percent of them being abandoned?
I couldn't even guess. I mean, there might be statistics on that on fanfiction.net, but that would probably include one-shots, which are complete by default.
I, I don't think you should count those. I mean, just like
I
out
don't
of the
think you
long
should either, but that's
stuff.
the thing. The system probably would count them. If there is such a system.
Oh, you mean okay? Yeah, I get what you mean now.
So, long form, there's a good chance that story isn't going to get finished, unfortunately.
Even still, I think I prefer it because I'm gonna get more entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
And usually.
Pretty much that's my opinion as well, and that's pretty much why I said we're not really going to do preferences, because generally speaking, either is good. But you're going to be reading long form more because it's longer, obviously. And there's more to read of it.
I think one-shots have more freedom as far as they don't have to really adhere to the rules of the universe you're writing for as much.
Yeah, you
If you
can
know what I
you can
mean.
probably have a lot more fun and freedom in writing a one-shot, I guess, you're right. I mean,
Whereas with like the longer ones, you not only have to adhere the rules of the universe that you're writing for, you also have to adhere the rules of your own fic that you set up yourself.
you have to follow the characters' personalities and all that stuff too, yeah. A lot of stuff to keep track of when you're writing long form. It's just not even an issue in one-shots.
Yeah, there's a little bit more freedom to be OOC in one shots because
Yeah.
I mean it's just one thing. People are still gonna complain about it, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead, like, if you want to take someone out of character in a long form story, you have to go into why are they different? What happened?
Mhm.
Why is it happening like this? In one shots, you really don't have to go into that. Just like, oh, I hated, like, say you're writing a story of two characters hooking up that kind of hate each other.
Hmm.
You really don't
One-shots
have
are
to go into.
one-shots on the whole are, I guess, what you could say they're easier in that you don't have to like worry about the consequences of what you do in it. But they're harder in that you want to make them feel complete.
Yeah.
I guess.
Because if it just comes off feeling like incomplete, then people are gonna just annoy you asking for you to update it or make it a full thing.
Unless it's one very specific adventure or event that the one
Mhm.
shot is about.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty hard to end one shots.
People that write one shots should read Nathaniel Hawthorne,
Okay.
What's that?
an author. He made a bunch of short stories.
Oh, okay.
I think one-shots work a lot better for very specific circumstances as well. Like, humor is very, very good in one-shots. Because it's one and done, you tell the joke and the joke is over. And after the end stories as well. So, like,
Yeah.
You-
Yeah.
after the story's finished and the story's all been told and it's all wrapped up neatly in a little bow in canon, and then you get your story which is coming after all that, basically you're trying to write a sequel. And by default it's going to be worse, because it's fanfiction. You are not as good as the canon author. Even if it's Rowling. Even if it's Rowling.
I don't know about that.
Uh,
Okay, that's
No matter what my
yeah.
ego tells me on a day-to-day basis.
well, even if it's, what's his name, who writes Naruto, I guess, as well. I won't say even if it's Kubo, because...
Are you really sure about that?
Yeah.
Because I have actually seen one or two Bleach fics that are really good.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying even if it's Kubo.
Okay.
If it's Kubo, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to do better. But you're basically writing a sequel to the canon work, and it's going to be worse by default, quality-wise. It's going to be worse because people aren't going to have the same attachment to your story as they did to the original, and it's just the story's finished. Adding more onto it feels excessive. It doesn't feel necessary. So, making it
Yeah.
quick and done, really short and simple. This is what happened to the characters in the future. If you wanted to know or maybe have an idea of what might have happened or what I think happened, that's great. That's good. That's a good way to do a one shot. My opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
So, I think we're at recommendations. Are we at recommendations, or do we have more to say for one shots versus long form?
I
I
think we're
believe
pretty
I'm
good.
ready to move on.
Okay. So Slicer, what's your recommendation?
Right, still
I need more
looking, huh?
time.
Right, okay. This one's gonna take a bit of searching, but track down the Great Hall Yahoo group, and on there they have a file called, I think it's the Aurora Journal of Harry Potter, Captain Harry Potter, or something like that. And it is this, like, 50,000 word thing, and it's just, you have to read it. It's funny.
All right.
I am not going to be
It's
able to
just-
find that, I guarantee, because I don't have a Yahoo account. So,
Right, I can see how that would be difficult.
Slicer, you're
I'll
going to
send
have
you the
to.
file later.
You're going to have to send a direct link to the page, and then people who may or may not have Yahoo accounts, maybe you should get a Yahoo account or something. I don't know, but
See, that
you'd
if
be
you're
able
not
to look
part
at
of the
it.
group, you can't access the files page. So that's the
I
problem.
wouldn't be able to access it, but anyone who has got a Yahoo account would be able to. Yes?
No.
No?
You have to be part of that specific group to get into the files section, so no.
Fucking wonderful. Am I gonna have to host this myself?
I could actually just post it on 4Shared, and I could just give you the link to that.
Okay, we can do that. Fine.
Alright, cool. So yeah, just click the link that we're going to include, and there you go.
Yay! God damn it. Alright, Ken?
Okay. Well, years ago, when I was just a wee Kenchi,
Oh, we
and I
can.
first started reading fan fiction,
Yeah.
there was this story by this dude named Psycho-sama called Making Uzumaki, and he got about 8 or 9 chapters in and stopped. But he's apparently rewriting it, and he's up to chapter 3 right now, and that's my recommendation, Making Uzumaki.
What is it called? Your mic is really quiet.
Making Uzumaki.
Okay.
Okay.
And we need a link in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send it. Basic gist of it is, it's early in Naruto canon, after the wave fight. Naruto does not kill Haku for whatever reason, blah blah blah. And, it doesn't really lead, like, by the time he stopped writing it for the first time, he didn't get out of the wave. They were still in the wave by the 9th chapter, but it was basically, Uzumaki's a clan, Naruto has power, or he's trying to, he was basically trying to get around to Naruto realizes Uzumaki's an actual clan,
Hmm.
and he's trying to resurrect that clan with misfit pieces.
Okay.
It basically started down that path and stopped, and I liked it.
So it's kind of reuniting the misfit Uzumaki thing. So be looking at Karen
They weren't-
and
No,
others,
no,
I guess.
because when he wrote it, when the story first was written, I don't think those characters were introduced yet.
Okay.
So it was just not by misfit pieces. I don't mean like members of the Uzumaki clan scattered all over the place. Just misfit characters in general.
Okay, so he was sort of creating his own clan and adopting people into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds interesting.
And he's rewriting it right now. There's only about 3 chapters into rewriting it so far, but he's doing it pretty quick because I think he started writing it about a week ago. I think.
Okay. Also, your mic is terrible again. Just thought I'd...
Yeah. I wasn't sure if that was just me or him.
Damn it.
You bought a new headset and everything too. I almost feel guilty, but you made a terrible purchase.
The mic is long enough to get to my mouth. My head is huge.
I guess you must have a low end cutoff or something, so it just automatically mutes anything that's too quiet.
Yeah, that's the thing as well.
It does have that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why.
It's a terrible combination for a short mic.
You should probably yell into it. Don't yell into it.
I was about to, actually.
Yeah, just
I'm a,
speak with gravitas.
Cause I'm a jerk. I always speak with gravitas.
Use your theater voice.
Say it with your chest.
Speak from the diaphragm.
From the diaphragm.
Can I speak from my duodenum?
That too.
That's like the intestines or something, right?
I don't even know what it is.
I don't know either.
I failed out of biology, so I don't know. Okay. Zero?
It's actually do have a recommendation. It's a fanfic. And by the way, duodenum is the first section of the small intestine.
I was right!
But
Thanks, Google.
I remembered it was somewhere near the intestines. I just need to figure out where it was small or large. But my recommendation is Darkish Souls. It's one of the only good big Dark Souls fics out there. And the description for it is: seek guidance, hurl lightning spear, everything starts to make sense. Praise the mother effing sun.
Of course.
Okay.
And I read the first chapter and it was great. Cause like, it's just funny. Like, instead of making it where it's like, oh, it's the chosen undead. It's like, this is basically the story of just two random undead. It's like, they're not, and at one part it says, in the beginning sort of monologue thing, it says, and amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign, which will never be properly explained. Is it just the chosen undead who has it, or everyone who's going hollow? Nobody knows. And so begins the journey and the end of any concrete storytelling.
Yeah, that's Dark Souls.
It's great. This person knows Dark Souls. You can tell they're making all sorts of like in jokes about the game mechanics. And the freaking prism
I'm
stone.
gonna need a link to this because I want to read it.
The freaking prism stone. It's like I've only read like the first like couple chapters, but it's basically two OC undeads like going and they're meeting like the characters from the other series, and like the chosen undead doesn't say anything, but he like makes a silly pose and he drops an item when they ask for help, and the item's a prism stone, which is like the worst item in Dark Souls, because what you do is you drop it off cliffs to know if you can die from the fall.
Yeah.
That's literally all it does. And most often than not, if you see a cliff, you're most likely going to die from the fall.
Yeah, the answer is yes to the question, if I fall down this, will I die? The answer is yes.
Yes. There's only one place I can think in the game where it would actually be useful. But, it's funny. Just the opening monologue where it's like, this is great. Like in chapter 2 it says, or chapter 3 it says, it's like, of course, because this was pre-patch 1.05, the knights were effing, awesome. It's just great. Because this person knows, you can tell it's somebody who's played the game a lot and knows a lot about it, so I like that.
They had some
It's
pretty
funny.
drastic patches, yeah, in Dark Souls history.
So I recommend that if you ever played Dark Souls.
Okay. And I have a recommendation, finally. I've only been searching for the entire recording session.
Woo!
But, yeah, I got one. It's actually a Bleach fic, if anything.
Shocking.
It is actually, kind of. Though, my issues are with canon, so it's probably okay.
Fair enough.
It's called The Protector's Temptation.
I think I've read that one.
Quite possibly. It's written by Sedor, Sedor. I'll be linking it, obviously. Basically, during the period when Ichigo had lost his powers completely, couldn't even sense anything spiritual and all that stuff, the time skip period, he, I forget how, gets hold of Aizen's Zanpakuto, Kyoka Suigetsu, and chooses to take it on and have it become his Zanpakuto.
Okay, I take that back. I don't think I've read that one. Or if
Okay.
I did, I really quickly lost interest.
Yeah, I'll link it then. So yeah, it's about 100,000 words. It hasn't really gotten particularly far in any conflicts, really. Obviously there's like suspicion and stuff, and Ichigo's resentful of Soul Society for abandoning him completely, and Soul Society are suspicious because they assume that the Zanpakuto is corrupting him or something. All this
Oh,
stuff.
so they know he has it then.
I forget when they find out. I think he tries to hide it for a while. It's an interesting study of where his mind might have been during that time period that we don't see, and where he might have gone were circumstances different, I suppose. It's interesting. Probably handled better than canon. Not saying much, but for what it's worth. I really don't like Bleach. Does it show?
Kinda.
Nah.
Okay, I guess that's everything for this week's recording. So, once again, I would like you to, fuck. This happens sometimes.
Do you want to try that
It's
again?
really depressing. I'm
We
a
can edit it
host.
out.
You can do it.
If you'd
You
like.
can do it.
I'm a host.
We believe in you.
Once again, I would like to thank everybody for listening to
Professionalism.
Fandom Flux episode 22. Yes?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
it.
Okay.
22.
It has become a thing, Christ.
Way to go.
Yeah. So, once again, we would like to thank everybody for listening to Fandom Flux episode 22. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the Blogspot page, through the comments, or through our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. I would personally prefer the comments, but it's up to you, I suppose. Once again, thank you for listening to the Fandom Flux podcast episode 22, and we are out.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.